How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, do me a huge favor, go down, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload. Today, what I am going to be doing is talking about why the Lexus IS250 is one of the best bargain cars you can get. Probably one of the best first cars if you have a little bit of a higher budget, and pretty much good for any scenario. This is my 2007 Lexus IS250. This is the second generation. So now let me tell you what makes this car so great. What makes this car so good? Why is the IS250 such a popular car? Well, I think that's probably because of the price point these cars are in right now. This is a second generation IS, a 2IS. Mine is a 2007. You can pick up these cars for about $10,000. Depending on the mileage and the condition, you can get a very nice car, even in this market, for about $10,000 or even a little under if you want a higher mileage car. $10,000 is a lot of money, but for the amount of car that you're getting out of this, if you're not someone who's looking for the newest car and you're looking for something that has a decent amount of technology, some luxuries, and also a very affordable price point, the IS250 is such a good car. And let me walk you through some of the features and then tell you a little bit more about it. A very affordable car, and let me show you some of the features that it comes with. So this car comes with a 2.5 liter V6, makes about 205 horsepower, give or take. But one of the main things is this car doesn't come in front wheel drive, but it comes in rear wheel drive and all-wheel drive, which is a major benefit. If you live in places where it snows, you have all-wheel drive. If you have places where it doesn't snow and you can get a rear-wheel drive car, you can have some fun. You have a little bit of a more sportier feel with the rear-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive cars are great. They're very just boring and bland cars for the most part. And in the wintertime, I never had an issue with this car whatsoever. I have all-season tires on it, not even running a set of winter tires, because it doesn't need it. This car has pretty good traction control. We can come over and we can pop the hood, and we can see that there's the little 2.5 liter. It's a pretty reliable powertrain for the most part. People have seen 250,000, 300,000 miles in these cars. They do have a little bit of problems with carbon buildup and stuff like that, but none of it's super major, and for the most part, these are pretty rock solid cars, and you should be able to get that high mileage out of them. My car only has 64,000 miles on it, so it's got a ways to go, and it definitely is rocking pretty solid. Now, there are some things that you should know before buying this car. I made a whole video about things you should know before you buy a Lexus IS250. Make sure you guys go check that video out. I'll leave it in the description, as well as I'll leave it up top here. So before even stepping into the car, one of the biggest luxury features newer cars have is keyless entry. This is a car from 2007 with keyless entry. All you have to do, you can have the car locked, have the key in your pocket, and simply just come up to the car. It'll unlock for you and you can step on in. Along with keyless entry, we also have push to start, so you never have to take the key out of your pocket. This is a car from 2007. That is a huge technology thing back then, and most of the cars from back in the day, you will not see a keyless entry car, and for this car to have it, that is super cool. I know it's not a big thing with modern cars to have this feature, but again, this car is over 10 years old at this point, and it has that feature. And again, consider the price point of the car. With keyless entry, you also have this little button here, so you lock the car. But now let's go in and talk about some of the features on the inside. My car is an upgraded car with the bigger dash display and navigation in it. So not all the cars are going to come with this, but you can definitely find a car for the $10,000 price point with these features in it. Most of the cars come with black interior. Some of them came with this tan interior. Depends on the spec. But again, my car is one of the more highly loaded cars, so some of these options might not be in all the cars. So let's talk about seating position first off. You have passenger memory seats as well as driver memory seats, and on top of that, all of this is power assisted, and then none of it is manual. I just think it's pretty cool, makes it very convenient, a cool luxury feature. And then all leather seats, perforated leather in the front and the back, fully leather on the inside. Again, $10,000 and you're getting a fully leathered out car. With the leather, you have heated seats, which is really cool. Convenient if you live in a place like Wisconsin. But on top of that, you have cooled seats. Not a feature you see in a car this old. But that is such a cool feature. I didn't see this until super new cars recently to have cooled seats. And I mean, for this car to have it, it's pretty cool. For the people who enjoy sports cars like I do, and you guys see the automatic, this car did come in a manual transmission option. It came with the rear-wheel drive variant as a standard option. They're probably a little bit more expensive because they're a little bit more desired, but they are out there for those who want a manual. Let's give the car a little start. You have analog gauges, and then you have a little screen up there. You also have a full touch screen right here where you have navigation, and then you also can control certain things like the climate from here. You can control your audio, display settings, and all of that from the screen. You have Bluetooth options here for calls. You do not have Bluetooth features for music, which is one of the downsides of the car, but you can pick up phone calls and drop phone calls. You can also upgrade this screen to have Bluetooth. You have all automatic windows, which you don't even see in new cars, honestly. It's super convenient to have all your windows auto. It's something Lexus and Toyota have done for quite some time now. You guys probably saw in an earlier clip, but I also have a sunroof or a moonroof. You can open this up all the way. For the price of this car, the features you're getting is absolutely crazy. This car is not the fastest car in the world, and it's not built to be that, but it is a very fun daily driver for someone who wants to enjoy a car a little bit and also, you know, drive something a little bit sportier than what normal people are driving. Something like a Corolla or a Civic might be a little too basic, but the IS250 is a car you don't see all the time, has all the luxury features, and also is a little sporty. And again, for my car enthusiasts out there, there is a ton of aftermarket support. A bunch of people have done so many mods to these cars, so it definitely has potential if you wanted to do something like that. This car also has some features that, I mean, you just wouldn't really see in like an ordinary car. Like, it has a rear shade. You just press the button and that shade goes up, which I find super cool. Also, the auto does come with paddle shifters that are slightly responsive. They're a little fun to play around with, but most of the time you're gonna probably be cruising with them off, because they're not like Porsche or Lamborghini paddle shifters where it's instant response. They do have a little bit of lag, but it's fun playing around with it a little sometimes. Also, for those wondering, the lights on my dash, that is there because I do not have TPMS sensors in my wheels. Those are gonna get installed at some point, hopefully, and all of the lights are gonna go away. But overall, I think the IS250 is such a good car. It has some sportier looks compared to the normal cars. It stands out a little bit, but also not too much. Like something comparable to a BMW 3 Series, but way more reliable. And I mean, the car has a little bit of wide body going on. It has a little bit of flair to it. It's not boring. It's something cool, something fun. And I think it's a great option for someone who wants something a little bit different, but also retaining a very reliable and practical car. And this car is sometimes outshadowed by its older brother, the IS350. But at this point, there's quite a difference in price between the 250 and the 350. And I think even with the current car market, the IS250 is very much worth the money. It's super smooth to drive. It's pretty much how you would expect any normal car to drive. The handling is a little tighter compared to some of the other cars, giving a little bit of that sporty feel like I said that it had, but very just normal. Gas mileage isn't too bad. The all-wheel drive variant gets about 25 to 27 miles to the gallon. Again, this car does have a V6 compared to some of the modern day inline 4 motors, which get slightly better gas mileage, but this car is also all-wheel drive. Those downsides come with the motor and the powertrain, so you have to deal with that, but it's not horrible either. Like I said, if we shift it over to sport, we can play around with the paddles a little bit. You can see how responsive they are. They're not super responsive, but they are fun to play around with a little bit. But most of the time, like I said before, you're gonna be basically just driving it in normal mode. But overall, the Lexus IS250 is a phenomenal car. If you're thinking about picking one up, highly recommend you do. Watch my other video where I talk about some of the negative things or some of the things you should consider before buying one, other than it just being a good luxury entry-level car. But that is all I have for this video. In the last video, I talked more about the cons of the IS250, so I thought I'd make a video about what's good about it, because I did talk about some of the features it has, why the goods and the bads, but mainly focused on some of the bad things, because those are things you should know before buying any car. So I hope you guys did learn a little bit about the IS250. If you guys have one, tell me your experiences in the comment section down below. It's a great car and just an awesome entry-level car for someone who's learning how to drive. But that is all I have for this video. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.